Okay. Hi, Rose.
Hi.
So, we are at Cowboys and Turbins in Silverlake, and we're having a fun time listening to other people's conversations and trying to figure out what to order. We're sitting in front of this beautiful campfire. I'll show it to you just later.
That's why we have this flattering light. Smooths out the wrinkles.
That's right. So I wanted to interview Rose for two reasons. First reason is that we are performing in a show called Rawkward. Kind of like raw food, Rawkward. Although there's no raw food at this show. It has nothing to do with raw food, but I just thought that it would be interesting since on naturalofficesnacks.com we're selling raw kale chips. Anyways, but the other reason that I'm interviewing Rose is because she is a gluten-free freak. So, firstly, Rose, she organized the show that's on this Sunday at the Silverlake Lounge here in Los Angeles. So she's going to talk about that show first. So we're both performing in that. And then she's going to talk about how she started the whole gluten-free journey. There you go, Rose.
Okay, so let's see. The show this weekend, it's going to be really fun. I've been thinking about it for months now, and I finally just got it together. And, I know all these great songwriters, but, if they're anything like me, they weren't always really all that good at it. There was a time many years ago when we were sort of honing our craft and, trying to find our voice. And there's something really kind of charming about that, about, the stupid things that we said and then the sometimes kind of poignant and wonderful. Anyway, so I've been wanting to kind of see what other people did in their bedrooms when they were teenagers, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. But Rawkward is actually obviously a play on awkward, because who isn't awkward as a teenager? And if you say you're a jerk. But anyways, but the gluten-free thing is occasionally awkward also, because the first thing that people want to ask you, well, the first thing is, what's gluten? Which is wheat protein, by the way.
I think we're on our way to Big Sur, and we had an argument about what the hell gluten is. Remember that?
No.
we had a show in Big Sur because we used to play in a band together, and we stopped by Trader Joe's. And I think we were buying something, and I said that had gluten in it. And you said, no, it doesn't have gluten. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, no, I don't, but I remember discussions about monosodium glutamate. Anyways, but that was actually before I was gluten-free and before I actually believed in gluten allergies. And, so I used to be a total, gluten-free hater. I admit it. But
what do you mean by a gluten-free hater?
Well, I kind of thought it was like something that fussy people said so that they could like be special or something. I really did. And then I had a friend who was doing an elimination diet, and I thought he was ridiculous. And then I looked up, did a little Google search of, what the symptoms of a gluten allergy were, and it was like, oh, everything that's wrong with me. Right. So
What was wrong with you?
Well, so many things. But this is actually, oh, that's right. That's getting back to the other awkward thing about being gluten-free is that, so after someone asks you what gluten is, the next thing they want to know is, oh, well, what happens to you if you eat it? Well, the answer is a little embarrassing. Aside from, things like low energy and, brain fog and, bad skin and all kinds of things. For me, personally, my tummy does not like it. And it lets me know. So yeah, that's one of those things that, it's not something I want to answer, if like a cute boy asks me, for example. So I actually try not to talk about it, but, inevitably somebody goes, oh, here, eat this. And you're like, no, thank you. Oh, come on. Are you worried about watching your weight? Not really. It's just that, well, I just don't eat gluten. And it starts.
I wanted to ask you something. Do you find that people are judgmental when you tell them that you're gluten-free? Like, oh, you're just being trendy, or what is this all about? Do you feel like people kind of judge you?
Sometimes. Some people, yes. But, it's being gluten-free is kind of getting to it's getting to the Snackwell stage where it's so common that you can go to any grocery store in America and find things that are labeled gluten-free. So awareness is definitely increased. So you don't get quite as many eye rolls as maybe you might used to.
So what I've always wondered about you, because I like to eat gluten-free. And I'll just share a little bit about my story just real quick. I find that when I eat gluten-free, I'm more clear. And when I eat something with wheat in it, especially if it's GMO, I find myself floating. And to be honest with you, I did have some gluten today, so I feel like I'm feeling the symptoms right now. I feel like I'm floating. I feel tired. I just don't feel on target. So that's how I feel. But knowing Rose, we've been friends and we go places together, and I noticed that she really sticks to this diet. She doesn't ever have any gluten.